And again, everybody, welcome to the Team Excellence Call. This is Lynn Gardner calling in from beautiful Virginia. It might be, drab and brown and can't see a whole lot of green, but it's a beautiful day. Boy, we got spoiled this last week or so. We had the -7 degrees, and then it went up to 70 degrees in February, I guess the end of January. Wow, that was just like what the doctor ordered for me, just a reprieve for a day or two. I got outside, enjoyed the farm a little bit, but we're back to winter now, and I'm sure we'll be seeing some snow and ice before the spring actually springs. I'm beginning to plant some seeds inside. It's kind of fun this time of year, looking forward to the spring. I'll be planting some microgreens and some other things. Some I'll be planting outside when the time is right, and some will be growing just inside year round, like the microgreens, right? I don't have a green thumb per se, but you know what? It isn't difficult to grow seeds or kids or a business or even the kingdom when you know how to nurture. And I know how to nurture, and everything else I need to know, I can learn. But I can't just plant the seeds and let them go and put them on autopilot. It doesn't work that way. If I plant them and just let them fend for themselves, so to speak, they're never going to thrive. And that's true for every single thing in life. So the message for you today was inspired by the planting of those seeds, and it's entitled No Nonsense Nurturing. When I say that word nurture, all kinds of things are conjured up in people's minds. I love to throw words out there sometimes because we have our own idea of what they really mean, and we paint a picture in our mind. And when I say nurture, some people believe that only women nurture. We're the softer ones, right? It's the feminine thing to do. They kind of think of us as, coddling a baby or tending to, physical needs. Some people believe it's that coddling and that lightweight component to a relationship. But in truth, nurturing is a vital component to every single area of life. From your relationship with your significant other to your children, to your faith, and definitely for your business. So before we move forward, let's look at the real true definition of nurture. It means the process of caring for and encouraging the growth or development of someone or something else. We nurture ethics and integrity. We nurture all kinds of things every day, and we really don't think of it as nurturing. But again, it's to encourage the growth or development of someone or something else. If we want to be successful in every area of our lives, we cannot overlook the importance of nurturing. This life isn't about you, and it isn't about me, and it doesn't revolve around us. Believe it or not, to be successful, that's true for business too. We have to look outside of ourselves, right? We're all inclined to be like that, or at least we want to be like that. Go get them, right? That fighting spirit, that ambition. No doubt we need those things, to be successful. We got to get out of bed and try to do it, right? But most of us have forgotten the need to nurture, frankly, in every area of life. In your relationships, for instance, if you stop encouraging growth and development as a partnership or a team, eventually you're going to quit growing. And just like those seeds, you won't have a whole lot strong root to hold on to. You might stay together, just because that's what people do, but you won't have anything really sustainable for the journey. When it comes to your children, nurturing isn't about, mommy making breakfast and making sure they are clean clothes to wear, making sure they have every toy they ever imagined, or putting an iPhone that's deaf to most children in their hands. To nurture your children is to encourage growth or development, to nurture them into being to a fulfilling life in every single way, right? When it comes to your faith, it's not enough that you believe. It's not enough that you show up for an hour and a half on Sunday. You have to nurture your faith so that you grow and develop into all that God intends for you to be while you're still here. The nurturing that's necessary for your business is really, from the way I see it, two-part. One part, you need to nurture yourself, right? You need to be nurtured into that growth and development. As entrepreneurs, we need to be constantly growing and constantly learning. That part doesn't end when you begin to see success. That's just the beginning. Did you know, for instance, that Bill Gates reportedly reads dozens of books a month, and he always has? It's not that he's fat and happy now and he does nothing but read. He has always read dozens of books a month. I would venture to guess a lot of you not read a dozen books this year or in a year. He reads dozens a month. And Warren Buffett, Buffett spends an average of 6 hours a day reading and researching, and he always has too. It never ends. So every day we nurture ourselves to be sure that we have what we need to develop a strong root and to keep growing. But as an entrepreneur in business, the business of people, actually, the nurturing sure doesn't end with you and me. You can be the most amazing person of excellence, a busy, busy, busy entrepreneur. But unless you learn to nurture your business and those people you recruit to grow with you, you can't succeed. When we bring someone into the folds of our business and they express the desire to succeed, nurturing begins right away, especially before their excitement dwindles. Just like those seeds that I planted, the early stages of the planting process are the most important to be sure that seed will actually take root and grow. You know, the seed is primed and ready to go, but if I fail to nurture it, it isn't going to grow into anything useful for me. People are no different. Although just like the seed, they need nurturing in every way. The beginning stages are the most important so that they are encouraged and developed. You get them to that place, right? Into rooting into our world. Recruiting people into our business, patting them on the fanny, wishing them luck, doing a little high five, and casually inviting them to a meeting or a call. Those are important things to do, but our responsibility goes way beyond that if we want them to root in for the long run. It's a continuous thing. So if you stop nurturing your relationships, you know, if you stop doing those things that would encourage growth and development, and again, you might stay together, but it's not going to be fulfilling for anybody. You stop nurturing your children, you're going to see a train wreck. You see it every day we live now, right? They may grow taller, but they're not going to grow stronger. And you won't ever be putting in the nurturing that you need to put in to raise up an amazing generation. So if you stop nurturing your faith and you're not only not a useful vessel, you're not doing anything for the kingdom, eventually you're going to lose your way. We won't even see you among us eventually if you stop nurturing yourself. I don't really need to define what happens in our business when we fail to nurture, because we all see it every day. People come in, they get excited, they have potential, and we fail to nurture them and grow them towards success. Remember, it means encouragement, growth, and development. Nurturing is a very nice thing, but it's not a wussy thing. It's no nonsense if you want to be successful. Just like that plant, if I nurture it the way it needs for me to in order to grow, we will both benefit from it. When I look out at life, but I see forgotten nurturing, right? I see it in relationships floundering on every corner. I see kids running wild. I see the church that, you know, with a very dim light these days. And I see businesses that never make it, mostly because we refuse to nurture. But there's a balance when we nurture, right? We can't do the work for everybody else. You know, that would cripple them. I remember early stages when I got into this business, I was used to, you know, being self-employed, if you will. And I was used to having a team, a 1099 team. And I was used to doing things a certain way. I got here, I like to tease and say I lost my mind, right? But when I got here, I got to a point where I'm like, okay, just teach me what I need to do. And one of the things that I did was I coddled my team. You know, I did too much for them. I thought I was being nice and I was helping the journey be easier, and all I did was cripple them. So don't mistake nurturing for coddling, right? You never want to, you know, take over and do things for them. You want to nurture them into growth and development, right? So, but we need to find a balance, and we nurture the way we're supposed to. It's mind-boggling to see the growth that comes from it. It's frustrating for some people out there. I hear from them, I'm sure you do too. They have huge potential. You know, they join us and then they flounder and then they leave, all because they never took root, right? And most of the time because we didn't do the nurturing. And Magic does its part day after day. I mean, it is a business of excellence, amazing products, amazing leaders, amazing comp plan. Nothing changed there. It's like day after day, it's the same with the Magic. But if those of us in the field don't step up to nurture the qualified people we recruit, we've only served to sell a unit, which is a very good thing. When we do, obviously we change lives, you know, for the better, but we can't build a team. Sometimes people reach out to me for help, you know, they're floundering. And of course we hear words that we don't entertain. And a lot of times it's, I don't have a leader, or there's nobody helping me. You know how I feel about excuses. So I don't buy into that necessarily. But sometimes it is as simple as that leader not knowing how to nurture or refusing to nurture, right? To that team toward growth and development. You know, what do you believe is expected of you when you recruit someone into the folds? You know, do you think you're just there to cheerlead, a rah-rah, pat them on the fanny, high five when they do something? You know, well, again, you're not expected to coddle and cripple them by doing their job for them, but you are expected to nurture them. That's what business is. So don't fall, you know, into a trap of thinking of the word nurture and think it's a wussy thing, because it's absolutely no nonsense. And, you know, as I often say in training, you know, we're not expected to spend time with people not willing to try. You know, the same is with the seed. You know, there'll be several seeds in this whole lot that I plant that absolutely will not take root and sprout. And no matter what I do everything right. I do all the nurturing I'm supposed to do. They will not take root. You know, there's nothing I can do to coddle it into growing. It isn't going to happen no matter how hard I try to encourage it toward that growth and development I hope it'll see, right? I don't leave it there, by the way, with all the others. I don't continue to try with it, frankly. In a seed situation, you pitch it out, make room for the other seeds that are ready to grow. You don't let it just sit there and take up space. And without sounding harsh, that's what we do in our business too. You know, the people wanting to grow deserve to be nurtured. They deserve for us to come alongside them and to help them. But there can be plenty that say they do, and they'll never take root. They'll never do what you ask them to do. And frankly, you just got to move on until they're ready to grow, if they're ever ready to go. When we're sure that we do our part, and then they refuse to take root, we just move on to the seeds that are ready and eager to grow. But there are so many wonderful people. I see it, you see it. People especially who have never been in this industry before. That was me. I came in, I was clueless, right? It's like a total paradigm shift. Those people are hungry and they're excited, and the seed just got planted and they need to be nurtured to grow. And frankly, most people on autopilot, that's simply not going to happen. So are you one who believes that really all you have to do is introduce them to this life-changing mission and, you know, stick around and hope the seed grows, you know, and just tell them, hey, when are you going to start growing? Or do you understand the importance of nurturing in every single area of your life? What can we do to encourage growth and development for our recruits? Well, there's a whole lot we can do. That's not enough time to go in today, but it's a whole lot more than just rah-rahing and telling them they can do it. That's an important thing, but that's not going to cut it. One thing I think most people fail at when the seed gets planted, they fail to see the seed at all. You know, it's kind of like sink or swim, but it sure, you know, wasn't simple for me when I got in. I almost sunk in the process, and it's not even that simple for a common little seed. Plenty of people have never been in this industry before. They needed to be encouraged, developed into that growth, and that's where you and I come in. But you know, you do have to set boundaries. You know, you do have to have a sense. It has to look like a business. You need to tell them what they need to do to succeed, not just love on them, but you need to give them an idea of what they need to do. You need to set some expectations for them. You need to be sure they have a why and set the goals, right? And then you need to hold them accountable. If somebody tells you, I'm going to build the business, I'm going to be a 6A or whatever they say, then hold them accountable. They're the ones that said it, right? Come up with a list of the things that they really need to do, not if they have time to do or they feel like doing. They're in business. They need to do these things. One thing, of course, is they tune into calls like this. You know, encourage their growth and development by inviting them onto a call. But don't just send them an email, you know, and never call them and hope they tune in. You have to step up and do the nurturing. Buy them a book on self-development and plan a time to discuss it, almost like your little business book club, right? You'll be encouraging them toward growth and development. They'll read it if they know you're going to meet about it. Get involved, you know, lead them towards success by providing that nurturing every single human being needs in every area of life. Remember the definition. It's the process of caring for and encouraging the growth or development of someone or something. Believe it or not, we cultivate people towards success. Young people, old people, experienced people, inexperienced people, we cultivate them. We don't coddle them. We don't plant and run. So stop doing the rah-rah and the high-five and falling short of giving your team the nurturing it needs to grow. And you know the best part about doing all that? Some will grow into the tallest, strongest plants. You know, we'll develop leaders that way, but many are going to go by the wayside too. But if you determine to nurture, you'll be doing a whole lot more nurturing of yourself too. So I hope that you understand the importance of nurturing, encouragement toward growth and development in every single area of your life. Be all that you can be, and don't overlook what's expected of you. If you want a fulfilling life, you got to get busy and do a lot of work, right? So I hope that this message on nurturing has helped you today. I hope I've redefined it in your mind, and that you'll, every time you see a little plant growing, you'll be thinking about you doing your part to nurture a life into being truly a life that was changed. So thank you guys for today. I appreciate being on with you again today. I hope that you have a great day. I'll see you at the top, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.